Grand Risings, loves. Okay. How is your rest on this fine, beautiful, wonderful, amazing day? Because today is going to be an amazing day. Okay. I'm going to speak it out there right now before anybody gets the chance to touch me, to interfere, to deflect, to stop. I mean, not here for it today, okay? Today is going to be an amazingly beautiful day because I need it, okay? And because yesterday was just a little rough for me, and honestly, I think that this live might be a little emotional. It might take a little bit out of me, but that's the purpose of it. I'm going to release it so that I can be done with it because I don't want to live here anymore. Okay? So I woke up this morning feeling refreshed, revived, renewed, all that good vibe stuff, okay? Ain't nobody coming to take it. My phone on D&D. They can't get me, okay? I am here to give the rest of my story. I just want to get through it. And again, I know that's also the wrong way to think about it. But from an emotional standpoint for me, I just want to be done with this part so I can move on to the happy, okay? So, I'm coming to you this morning as a therapy session of sorts, if you will. The thing is I told my kids yesterday that going live is like having therapy. Therapy is talking to yourself, okay? Therapy is talking to yourself. It is the same thing as affirmations, okay? I'm sure if I spend enough time, it's like talking to God, okay? I am having a conversation here. Those that need to hear me will hear me. I hear me, okay? It is, my story is not meant for just me, and that I know it to be. Unfortunately, and because I'm so impulsive and, you know, excited and just, look, spontaneous, okay? Maybe that's the word. Because I'm spontaneous, okay? Because I act in the moment, because I just do it. That can sometimes be frowned upon. Sometimes it's not the right move. Sometimes you do need to sit still. Sometimes you do need to think about it. You need to contemplate all, you know, all of the actions and reactions, okay? I believe wholeheartedly, I believe deep within my soul that what you put out, you will get back in one way or another, okay? So, before I go into my story, let me start with that. Let me tell you all that I'm always gonna go to Tabitha because she stays deep on my heart and deep on my mind, okay? From the first moment I heard Tabitha say, speak. From the first time I heard Tabitha speak, okay, I felt empowered, okay? I am in my season right now, y'all. Whether folks want to believe me or not, what is meant for me will be for me, okay? That being said, I'm a giver, and I'm gonna keep giving till I can't. But because I am in my season, I am doing everything in my power to focus just a little bit more on me. That has never been a thing for me. It's new. It's a new area. It's a new territory. It's scary as hell. but also extremely exciting because I believe, y'all. I believe, and that is why I'm here this morning. I'm here because I just want to get, I want to leave this pain, okay? I want to leave it at the altar, all right? I want to drop it off. I want to move on. I read something that said something about looking in the back rear view mirror, okay? I can't move ahead if I keep looking back. And unfortunately, because of my current, because of some things, it is hard for me to move forward, often. So, here goes. I, spoke in a video somewhere about, my staying at Cedar Creek, at the beginning of Cedar Creek, okay? My story is really a housing story. I'm not trying to give you my life story. We could be here for my life if I tried to give that. You know, I can tell you that I take accountability for the role that I played in the role that I played and the role that I play, okay, in all situations in my life. All right. Um, we like to in one way, shape, or form play the victim. Why me? Why me? Okay, that's been my life. Why me? But I see that where I see. So I lived in Cedar Creek, which is an INHS property. Blah 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 blah. You know, uh, I don't even know if I know. There are a lot of issues here, okay? And right now, really, my biggest thing is to speak on these issues, okay? Last year, I lived in a property that is a beautiful and could be an amazing property, okay? It has the full potential to be everything that this community needs, okay? It is on a block with a school. It is on a block with a community center. Hence, it should be the safest block in town, okay? It should be smoke free. Y'all gonna hear me. Y'all gonna hear me shout from the mountaintops about the smoke. Okay, cigarette smoke. You know, can't say that other one. Y'all not gonna get me today. I'm not getting flagged. Okay. You know, smoke. Smoke is smoke. It don't matter if it came from what it came from. Honestly, it could come from your grill. Okay. These things are not healthy. These things are not for us to breathe in. These things are not for our babies. I don't care what you do with your body. But why must we all suffer? That's the question. Maybe that's the bigger question. Why must we all suffer? We all know what we should and should not do. We all know the harms that we place on our bodies, on our minds, okay, on each other. Why must we always act like we don't know that? Because we're self-serving, because we're selfish. We are selfish individuals. So, I moved into a beautiful neighborhood nonetheless, though. And when I tell y'all that, when I got there, like, we looked at it, we are like, okay, we're gonna do it. Like, we had it in our mind, like, this is gonna be our spot, okay? And we looked at it and we figured it out. It felt small upon, like, getting there. Once we got in there, y'all, it just felt right. Do you understand? When things just feel right, enjoy that, okay? That was in February of 2024. We moved in there and we immediately stumbled upon some issues, some maintenance issues, okay? Contacted maintenance, and or not contacted maintenance, you know, when you work with a property manager, you know, you go through the proper channels or whatever. I called their there is an office on the property where the property manager is supposed to be at. Again, eventually, email. Throughout the course of time, email has become my friend with this specific company, okay? I am an emailing fool, okay? If I feel wronged, if I feel like, okay, I might need to revisit this again, you're getting an email. If you get an email from me, you better act like you know, okay? Because it's a paper trail. It's a paper trail. People start your paper trail. Always, always, always make sure you got a paper trail, okay? Stay with your receipts. If you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready, okay? I'm a receipt having gal, all right? I don't like to tell nobody nothing. I do like to be right too, okay? I like to be right, but maintenance issues, y'all. I mean, okay, 3 bedroom, 1.5 bath space. As I said, it's on the block. It's literally on the same block as the school. The community center is kitty corner, okay, from that property. And the property takes up almost half the block, okay, because one side is the school and the community center. Like if you divided it, you know what I mean? The school and the community center, and that still take up a little bit more than half, okay? Because shout out to GIAC, okay? You're doing your thing. I see you. But they have an amazing community center, which I still haven't even checked out fully. But it's beautiful, okay? They are a part of their community. They are doing the steps to change it and beautify it, okay? They have also on the following block a basketball court, a swimming pool, a large park. You gonna get there with me because you gonna see it because we gonna have an event there, okay? It is a beautiful area, okay? It could be so much more, okay? And by that I say, no, I'm not gonna give you. I'm not gonna give it to you. I'm not gonna give it away, okay? I'm gonna keep it here. But it felt like home. Everything was good. Minus, the little hiccups again. Okay, maintenance issues, right? So, we moved in and something was wrong with that upstairs toilet, okay? The main bathroom. Something was wrong with the toilet. It just isn't properly flushing. And I had plunged it. Like, I don't know what's going on with it. So I sent out an email, hey, I'm having some problems with the toilet, And I sent it. No response, And again, this is the norm. One thing about Ithaca Neighborhood Housing Services is you are not their priority. This community-based, I'm sure if I pull up their mission statement, I am going to rip it to shreds right now, right here with this story, okay? They do not care. Give them their check and be quiet. Take it. What is going on with my face? And in time, you do take it. You do accept it. In life, you find yourself often taking it, allowing things to become the new norm. This is how we are where we are today. Everything has become the new norm. And now, mind you, I say that with the utmost respect. I would never, never, ever, 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 ever intentionally, okay, try to take anything from any other human being, okay? You all can be whoever the hell you want to be. Now, I'm going to say what I'm about to say, and my daughter hates it when I say it, but I'm saying it in a damn way. Okay, I am a mother-loving unicorn. Okay, if that's what I want to be, that's what I'm gonna be. I am a goddess. I am a know-all, be-all. I am her. Okay, now do with that information what you will. But I know who I am. Okay, now when I say that folks are just getting out of hand and real weird, and it's becoming a acceptable thing, you know. So with the housing, it's like your landlord don't get back to you. Cool. Matter of fact, how many of you right now, have a maintenance issue? One that you've most likely spoken to your landlord about, one that you have most likely attempted to get fixed, and one that you have most likely either A, fixed yourself, because God knows we will fix and rig something ourselves, won't we? Or you just accepted that it's not going to get done and you're working around it. I got a story for that right now, but I'm going to stay focused on the story I'm trying to tell. See, I can be very distracted, and that is the problem. I got to give you all this story. So, home maintenance issues. Long story short, with the toilet issue, I put the work in. I found maintenance. There are a few maintenance guys that specifically I know, like, hey, can you, and they'll do it. Okay, ain't that whole call our office and leave a maintenance or email with a maintenance request. The thing is, you could call, text, email, send smoke signals, knock on the door, pigeon carrier. I don't care how you attempt to get in touch with INHS, because if they don't want to, they are not reaching back out to you. I have a niece right now who has hit me up on here to ask me how can I get a new key for her apartment. A new key for her apartment. How can I get a new key for my apartment? It's been about a month. I still don't have one. I kind of wish it was later in the day so that we could phone a friend to find out how I can get my niece a key. Okay? Give her key so she can get in the secure building. Okay, because it's a secured building. Okay, I guess when the side door ain't broken. Give my niece her key so she can get in her building. Okay, call her back. Make sure you call her back. Okay, cause I know that I know. Now, Ithaca Neighborhood Housing Services is a community-based giant. They are a they are a community-based non-profit giant here where I live. They do such great work for the community. We love community building. Maintenance, got it done. I got it done, okay? They came, look, no, I can't give it. Nope, they came, they did, it actually was two of them, okay? They put in work on my toilet. There was the involvement of a snake, I had a conversation about the obvious flooding that took place from the things that were stuck in this toilet. Because when I tell you, and again, I might have my instances mixed up because I feel like this toilet was an issue for a little bit of time. So once I had two guys there, once I just had one guy there. But I remember the specific time when it was just the one, because if this man didn't pull out 7 or so pieces of plastic silverware out of this toilet, he didn't pull out one. And mind you, I had just moved there. So my question is, in an apartment that you have fixed after the last resident was in there, why would I have issues with anything in there? I don't know the answer to that. Again, maybe they could help me. Maybe someone could help me. I don't know. But this man pulled out pieces of plastic silverware out of my toilet. He is snaking it, okay? Things are really in there, okay? He turned up the valve or whatever on the back so it could flow better. So it goes fine. Moving on. We end up in there. We're good. We're happy. So we get a neighbor. Come March, the beginning of March, a new neighbor moves in. So it is my niece on the end, me in the middle, new neighbor on the end. Okay, A, B, C. Now, the only complaint I had before my neighbors moved in and the maintenance, well, I mean, there were still some issues, but the only main complaint I could have was the walls are thin. My niece has 3 children, okay? 3 girls. Her oldest and a set of twins. And I just don't need to be a part of her household, okay? I understand it. I respect it. I'm a mom. I know what it is, okay? I know what you got to go through in the morning. I know what these babies do to us. But I don't need to be a part of her household. And I literally was. And in fact, I was so much a part of her household that when she struggled with her children, my daughter or I got up and went over there because we could hear her struggling with her children. So do the math on that. But the neighbors moved in March. The thing about these neighbors is, y'all, is my perspective on them. I didn't have a problem with the neighbors. It never had anything to do with the neighbors. I was luckily able to run into one of them the other day and try and explain my situation just a little bit better again. Oh, nope, it's probably not on a live because I probably shut it off because I did run into her right after I was on a live. And so I explained to her that it never had anything to do with any of them. It was only about INHS and the smoking. It is a smoke-free property. That was probably the biggest part to start with, y'all, my bad. This property I moved in is a smoke-free property. It is listed so in my lease, okay? That is that is the most important part of the story. And so the neighbors smoked cigarettes and I dislike them. I dislike the smell. It's a horrible, horrible thing for me. I quit many, many years ago. Finally broke free from that. You know, quit smoking now. Quit smoking now. You know it's not right. You know it's not good for you. And you know it doesn't, for real, nothing for you. Because you wanna know what? It's all right there. Once you get through those 3 days of having quit, you will be fine. It will be a distant memory. You will no longer smell. You will be able to smell again, first of all, okay? You will no longer smell like them nasty, funky, vile things because they get into everything. The thing about smoke is, that's the problem. It gets into everything. It's not even so much that you, again, are inhaling it for yourself, okay? Because, hey, do you. But the problem is that it stays. It is a part of everything, okay? That hence second and third hand smoke, okay? That is why smokers smell, okay? You cannot do that and not, most people know that you do, okay? It takes quite a bit of work to not smell like a smoker when you are a smoker. And so that being said, when I live in a multi-housing unit, my neighbor smoking cigarettes is a problem. And before I jump too far on my process, I have to again go back and say I was diagnosed with breast cancer February 19th of last year. I don't know. I never know how to phrase that. triple negative invasive ductal carcinoma. And so learning that in February, getting a new neighbor in March, I spent the majority of my year under stress. And when I tell you under stress, I am not quite sure that I can get into the full, no, I know I can't because I won't get into the full mental space to tell you about that type of stress. I'm not going back there. I'm not going back there. It's a lot. So I had the breast cancer. Again, 45, my first mammogram was last year. Don't ask me why. I go to the doctors. I have regular checkups. I've had regular checkups. My family, my PCP has seen me often. They, I can't tell you why I had to be 45 years old to just have gotten my first one. I could tell you that from where I sit, the healthcare system is lacking. From where we'll get there in the story. It's a lot. So, anywho, so I went ahead and after learning that I had breast cancer, I spoke to my neighbor. And I informed them as the process went on, especially about my condition and what I was doing and what I thought transparent. Again, I said, I have breast cancer, da da da. Like, I would appreciate if you wouldn't, smoke, like, whatever I said to them. I couldn't even tell you what I said to them, okay? I know I told them I had breast cancer. I recall hearing the words, oh, I'm so sorry. Let's, I'm so sorry. Let's, like, oh, beep cancer. Everybody is beep cancer all day long, okay? But also, what steps are you taking to truly say that, okay? Because you cannot say bleep cancer and then still be smoking cigarettes. My perspective. But I told them, okay, we understand. Oh no, I'm so sorry, blah, blah, blah. Again, they did not stop smoking on their porch. That wasn't ever really a thing. All summer long, it became a battle of who was going to get the porch. And when I say who was going to get the porch, I mean, I had to time it out right. Because obviously I didn't want to go out there after like they had just gotten done smoking cigarettes. You know what I mean? Like I either had to try and beat them out there for the day or not be out there at all. And it became a matter of like who was gonna push who, like it became this game that I didn't want to play. I purchased a fan. I put it outside so that I could blow around whatever that is out there, because again, second and third hand smoke is still present. I did at some point wash that porch, my niece and my side. I touched on the neighbors a little, but again, I didn't want to cause any conflicts. I was just doing what I thought was best for me, for my condition, because the thing that I have realized very quickly was no one cares. And if I wanted to protect myself, I was going to have to do it myself. And I did. However, that played a very big part on my mental health. To spend my days inside in my own head, scared to death, because at the end of the day,
when you were diagnosed with cancer, you were scared to death. Always. Somewhere in the back of your brain is dirt. Okay? And then you start listening to your friends, your family, your community, your doctors, and it all messes with your mind. Now, I say that because I went into my breast cancer knowing that yes, triple negative invasive ductal carcinoma is rare. That is the first thing, okay? Rare, 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 rare. It's rare. Hearing these words from these doctors, going through my journey with the cancer, in the healthcare system here where I live, and in spite of and because of all that I was going through, it was a lot. It is the reason why I am currently today doing the thing, thus taking the steps that I need to correct these things. Okay? Because I am a fighter. I am strong. I forget often. I am tired often. But I know who I am. So, I just was so tired, y'all. You start with all the appointments and the poking and the prodding and it just is, it's a lot. I can tell you that last year, if someone would have said, "Oh, could you take it?" Like, I probably would have been like, okay, can I get a robe? Can I get something like that. Today, much more willing to just, I don't need the robe, I don't need the gown. What do you need to see? Because it's not that serious anymore. It is in everything. It is our ego, okay? I spend enough time with this. I've had to spend enough time with this to become accepting of it, to build the confidence behind it. We'll get there. So the point was, I had emailed INHS this attestation, okay, like the doctor's notes, okay, like, hey, stay away from the cigarette smoke. It can be harmful to me, to cancer patients. Cigarette smoke can eat away at your skin, okay? It yeah, tobacco's no good for you. It's no good for you. Okay, the warnings are the warnings. They are on the package. There is scientific evidence, y'all. What more do you need? You know someone. You have known someone. What more do you need to learn from this? So that also brings me to why I am up at 4 o'clock in the morning and doing this live, because I personally think that this live would take off so much better if done later. If I could actually be like, hey, let's try and ring in someone. But I knew I had to come and give this story. I also know that I want to get it done before my day really gets going, because again, I'm going to give this to y'all and I'm going to lay back down and I'm going to let it go. Okay? I will not be carrying this with me all day. I'm not going to. I don't plan to. I am going. I'm at happy. Okay? I am at it. And that is the point. Which is why I have to bounce out of this sadness to come back to happy real quick, because I can't do it. I can't do all the sad. I've done it already. I've done my time. There is no more sadness in my life. Okay, I got to get to all the good stuff, y'all. If I can't get there, I never will. So, necrosis, y'all. Necrosis. So, I had a mastectomy. I ended up making the decision to have a mastectomy. I made I made what I thought was an informed decision about removing my breast. Maybe as we continue down the story, I realized that the information I had was incomplete. There are a lot of things that doctors don't tell you. There's a lot of things that are read in between the lines. If you don't ask questions, if you don't know any better, if you are in the flight portion of life, ask for help. Find someone that knows something, anything. Anything is better than nothing at all, okay? Find someone. Do not do it alone. Do not go at it alone. Do not stop asking questions. Do not educate yourself, okay? And that was the problem. I did not educate myself. I did the basic education. Go ahead and type in triple negative invasive ductal carcinoma and let your mind take off from there. And also, if you really have cancer, do not do that, what I just said. Don't do that. Because one of our biggest enemies is this damn internet. Okay? I said what I said. Because if you're not going to do it responsibly, you're doing it wrong. The internet could be your best friend. It can also hurt you. Okay? Be mindful. That's it. It's a mindfulness thing. It has to come from within. It has to come from a good space. Otherwise, it will not, it should not prosper. Okay? It shouldn't. Light over darkness. Okay? Good over bad. Happy over sad. That's it. You gotta keep thinking it. You gotta keep remembering it. You gotta get there. Okay? So, my surgery was May 10th of last year. And, I don't know where my tissue box is because I already know I'm about to cry. I wasn't ready. I was not mentally prepared. I cannot begin to put into words how much worse that pain was for me than I had expected it to be. And I don't know why. You know, I've been through things in life. I've had surgeries. I've had plenty of surgeries at this point. I know pain, y'all. I know about it. But I don't know this pain. I didn't know this pain. I didn't know how severe it was gonna be. You know, they tend to leave that part out. So, yeah, that pain was a lot. I did my days in the hospital, that first night, really bad, y'all. Really, 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 really bad. No sleep. Just pain. Pain will inflict a lot of harm on your body. Okay. I ended up in the hospital a week later. I had some type of infection. I have no idea where it came from. I don't know how I was on an antibiotic at that. It doesn't even make sense. But it got, my incision was hot. It was uncomfortable. And yeah, no. So again, they fixed me up there. Good old CMC. Cuba Health. They've changed their name, y'all. They've changed their name, And I'm gonna say real random because now actually I wonder as well, what was the purpose of that name change? I remember back in the day when I was told it was bought, or it was for the doctors or run by the I forget what the terminology was that I was told. But now, in fact, I'm thinking somebody said it was run by the doctors or whatever, and I'm thinking now like that must have been when it became a non-profit, because I never understood that. But Cayuga Health used to be Cayuga Medical Center, and I'm sure that if you go ahead and you type in to a search box somewhere, Cayuga Medical Center, I'll make it simple for you. Cayuga Medical Center, Cornell. Cayuga Medical Center, Cornell. Type those words in. You'll see, and you'll understand. Because I'm sure, I am positive, I don't even have to say anything more than that. Look up the reviews. CMC, Cayuga Health. Pick one of them two. Look up the reviews. I know. And I don't mean surface. I don't mean page 1. In fact, go to the 1 stars, because you are only as, for a business, you are only as great as your worst review. If you ain't never made that right, that's the review. That is only for business purposes, only. Because I'm going to sit here also and take this moment to acknowledge you, to acknowledge whoever needs to hear this, and to tell you that you are greater than the worst thing that you've ever heard about yourself. Now, you've heard it. If it's true, accept it. If it's not, move on, let it go, and move on. You have to let it go. If you continue to keep that back here, wherever if you continue to keep those words up here, they will continue to keep you there. Let them go. Send them off into the universe. Bury them. Bury it. Shed the skin. Become a new person. I could, all day, I could do this, okay? Just do it. So, surgery, mastectomy, pain. Yes, we're there, okay? Home, healing. I could probably do the story just like that. Home, healing, alone, empty, dark. After my surgery, and I'm not sure, I don't remember when I started chemo. I decided I was going to do the 12-week, the 4 rounds at, 12 weeks of time, once every 3rd week. Chemo sucks, y'all. I don't have anything to say or give or whatever for it. It's a necessary evil, I guess. I don't know. It's a necessary evil. But it is, strip you down to your bare bones. Horrible stuff. The things it does to your body is hard. And so as I started my chemo, and I would have, it was hard. It's hard to watch your body, it's hard to watch your body just stop, just shut down on you, just make everything so hard and feel so hard. chemo was hard. But chemo was only really hard because it had to strip me all the way down. You understand? It had to strip the little bit of vanity, okay, that I had. Because again, you lose your hair, okay, and many of you ought to know, black women don't play about their hair. I still ain't watched that movie about their hair, but cause black women don't play about their hair. It is a natural, preconceived notion. Okay, I'm not outside frolicking in the rain. My hair is not built for that. You know, I mean my hair, y'all, and I have to say that because I am trying to get used to whatever this is. Because I have 4C hair, and while I had it, I didn't appreciate it. And now I miss it. And I miss my hair so much. Okay? I have hair. It's coming, it's growing. I know that, y'all. I have not been doing what I'm supposed to do for my hair. And I have been neglectful of it. Although lately, and I don't know, y'all. You see, because again, I don't know what this is. I don't know what texture. I don't know nothing about this. But I just realized that I have not been as neglectful as I think I have. Only because I've been using that goat's milk soap in my head, and I got to tell y'all, cause I struggle with some things. Okay, my scalp is dry and itchy and not okay often. And that has always been something. Again, that is why I have never wanted to know what my head looked like. I have always been scared to death of what my scalp looked like underneath that hair. And what if your head is not perfect? Y'all know, there's so much wrapped around. Luckily, I got a head like my daddy. Shout out to him. And it's perfectly round or whatever, like it's a good head, y'all. And thank you, okay? Because the world is not kind. And even with breast cancer, the world is not kind. So I appreciate that because it was hard. The breakdown was hard. The breakdown is painful. And to top it all off, in that specific moment after breast surgery, and during chemo, I had the unfortunate lesson was learned within this time frame of I'm trying to think of, I mean, I know what the lesson is, but it's hard to explain it. So maybe I won't say the lesson in it. After breast surgery, after starting chemo, honestly, last year, after diagnosis, that is when the universe started to remove those from my life that were no longer meant to be a part of it. That's how I need to phrase that. Because this is the part of the story that I don't like to get into, because it is still so painful, and it in the moment, and still, as you see, just think about it, it was painful. I started losing my hair, and I reached out to my nearest and dearest, right? Because that's what you do when you're sick or happy or whatever. And it's really funny because people always celebrate. Well, I hope. I mean, if they are your people, right? They always celebrate the happy, good moments. Okay, everybody's always here for a great time. be mindful of those that aren't there when you're not. I am a giver. And even though I give and I give and I give, I think that maybe the lesson is just because I give doesn't mean I should expect. Yeah. Because, excuse me. Because that was the hard part. That was the part. It was, I had no one. And see, never, ever say no one. Because you see how quickly that came out of my mouth? It wasn't that I had no one. I had my family. My family was there for me. My sister ordered me supplies that I didn't know I needed. Y'all, I was in flight. I was in full shutdown. I couldn't. I've never felt like that before in my life. And for people that know me specifically, you have to know how much that hurt me because it's not who I am. I am not the person that needs, that wants, that, hey, like, first of all, I'm still learning this right now. I'm still learning this lesson. I'm still in it right now because I don't know how to ask for help. I don't know how to, or I'm learning how to put the pieces where they need to be instead of trying to make them fit. You understand? You have to pay attention to everything around you. It all plays a part in who you are. It all plays a part in your in what's going on in your life right now. Okay? So yesterday specifically was a very telling day for me. Which is why I'm here and trying to get this done because like I said, I'm done, y'all. I'm ready to get to the happy, okay? I couldn't get it together yesterday. I spent my whole weekend inside trying to get my life together. And because I didn't do it the right way, because I still allowed outside to come in, it gave me the ability to understand where I'm still going wrong. The grief of losing someone who is still alive. We could talk all day about the grief of losing someone who's no longer here. And I could tell you that. In fact, I will tell you that for a long while now, probably since COVID, my mind has tried to block out death. Okay, it got to be too much. I gotta take some of this emotion out of it. Okay, and the easiest way that it was for me to do that was to pretend, if you will, that I just haven't seen them in a while. Okay, this is how I have been able to minimize my pain. Okay, because losing people hurts like hell. When you lose someone, when someone passes, you lose them, and there's no getting them back, and you know that. It's final. Death is final. When you lose someone in life because they're not meant for you, y'all. So, what I'm saying is, I had a sisterhood. I had a group of women who love me. They do love me. They just don't love me the right way. That's it. That's the term. I've been trying to figure out how to get here for this conversation so that it doesn't come from a harmful, malicious place. And those are the words. Because there is love there. There probably will always be love there. But the thing that I am currently learning is just because I love you does not mean that you get to have me. Okay? And I say that because cancer made me learn that. Because when I had cancer, and nephew, I see you and I appreciate you. Because when I had cancer, not many came. Not many came to check on me. Not many stopped by. Not many called or texted. And again, you can take these phones, y'all, and shove them where the sun don't shine. They are tools. They are tools. This phone is a tool in your life. It is not meant to be the know-all, be-all tool of your life. It does not mean that you should sit on your phone and check in on your friends. Get your ass up and go. If they mean something to you, let them know that. My perspective, my thought on this is I should never have to call anyone when I am going through something for them to know that I'm going through something. Now, of course, all the pieces of that are very different. But I had cancer. Did my group know I had cancer? Yes, of course they did. Of course they did. They were, like my family, the first people I told. In fact, let me tell you where I messed up at. I'm so sorry. I messed up at expecting them to be my all. That's where I messed up at. I messed up because I expected for my sisters to truly hold me down and hold me down. Okay? And unfortunately, that was not the case. And unfortunately, I had to learn that. And unfortunately, I had to see that. And unfortunately, I had to experience it. And unfortunately, it sucked. And it was painful. And it still is painful. It is still something I am still wrapping my brain around. And like I said, I am not angry about it. I was very angry. I was very hurt. I was very hurt. Because when I sent you the picture of my hair falling out, in my mind, that was the moment everybody put their shit down and came and saw me. That's it. And it just never happened. We never got there. Oh, here she comes. Come on, baby. Come on. Shh. I'm on a live video. You can, okay? Thank you. Just get in your. Yep. I knew you'd be coming. Shh. Come on. Get in here. Come on. Lay down. Are you okay? No. Hold on. Shh. Okay. You're fine, baby. You don't need to be scared. Lay down. You're right here with mommy. All right. It was a hard lesson. Moving on. So spent the summer on my porch, essentially, y'all. So again, the loneliness was a real thing for me. I ended up in an apartment with one of my kids. You know, a couple of kids checked on me pretty regularly and stopped by and all that. A couple of them, and again, see, you know your kids, you know who they are. Everybody has a different reaction to stress. and fear. And since most things are stress and fear based, they they cause people to react differently. So I didn't have a lot of people around me during the whole summer, actually. And it's crazy because I literally sat in the center of town. I spent my summer on my porch, or trying to be on my porch, but my apartment was located in the center of town. No matter where you're going, you gotta get there. You gotta pass by. You gotta pass by my block in some way, shape, or form. And so, but again, the time was needed for me to be alone, so that I could see, so that I could understand what I'm supposed to be doing. Shh, shh, shh. Come on, Noodle. Y'all see why I don't be asleep, right? Shh, come on, Noodle. You need to lay down though, because you have a day. Okay? Thank you. So I was able to do a lot of people watching all summer, and I was able to just pay attention to my surroundings. And ouch, please, Noodle, that hurts. To people and what they were doing, So again, I will say, and I always say, I am a nosy person. I am super nosy. Curiosity killed the cat, but satisfaction brought it back. I, I, I just like knowing things. I like to know why. I like to know why people do the things they do. What brought them to this decision. I'm just intrigued by people and things. And I like to gather information. Yes, baby. Oh, okay. Please, baby, you're fine. I got you. You're here with mommy in her bed. It is 4:40 in the morning, so it's really early. Okay? So you have to go. And let me find this remote. Oh God. You have to go to sleep. You can. There we go. I done lost where I was, y'all. I don't remember. Being alone? Being alone in the center of town and being able to watch others and see what's going on around me and all that. And so I will say that chemo went fairly smoothly. No, cause see, I'm brushing over and minimizing Cayuga Health, and I have to backtrack a little bit to the Cayuga Health aspect of this so that I can blend these stories together, if you will, because they all are a part of mine. Shh. So after being diagnosed with breast cancer, the team, they basically create a team for you. They gave me my breast surgeon, they gave me my plastic surgeon, they gave me my my oncologist. Come on, Noodle. Oh God, help me. And again, I didn't question it. I didn't do my research. Y'all, I just went with the flow. I was just there. I went to the appointments. I heard the words, but again, the words that I heard were probably would just allow my mind to take off and go. Google, surface research, right? Breast cancer, triple negative. You know, you put these terms. Noodle, get out. You are tripping right now. Go on. Girl, it is 5 o'clock in the morning. Go to sleep. You ain't been doing this whole time. They had one of the first issues I had with Huga Health was with my oncologist. After the biopsy and all that, you know, they send you to the oncologist. And I already had an oncologist because I have anemia and I have had iron transfusions. So I didn't need to start that process because I was already set up for that process. So I went ahead and I went to go, you know, do all these appointments, right? Because let me tell you something. Cancer is like filling up your calendar. That cancer is the equivalent of filling up your calendar. You will have appointments and a whole bunch of stuff. You know, it's a lot. It takes a lot. It puts a lot of stress on you and on your mind. I'm sorry, y'all. I know I want to get this done, and I do. I can't do it with my child sitting here. I have to get her back to sleep. So I so apologize, but I will have to come back because I got to get this baby to sleep, back to sleep, so she can be rested in the morning and not listening to her mother and what she is saying and allowing and thinking that her mom will going to stress her out because I'm not, because she's going back to sleep. So I will be back because I'm probably not going back to sleep, of course. But yeah. Y'all have a most wonderful, peaceful morning if you are starting your day. You know, golden rule, be kind to others. Treat them how you want to be treated. Do something different something different, one way or another. And be true to yourself. Okay? I'll be back. And I love you all.